that night, amid the glittering lights of the stadium, lights that flickered like thousands of falling stars, something happened. A small moment, a subtle tremor, a single glance that, without warning, cut through the noise and rippled across millions of stay hearts around the world. Hyunjin and Felix. Two names that, when spoken together, feel like a spell whispered into the universe of K-pop. And on the grand stage of KGMA 2025, when the roaming camera searched for the perfect angle, no one could have predicted that it would capture a tiny fragment of time, just 3 seconds that would later become legendary. 3 seconds. But for stays, those 3 seconds felt like an entire drama episode crashing into their emotional stability. Was it coincidence? Or fate choosing to slip in the most cinematic scene of the year? Today, we're breaking it all down, second by second, breath by breath. Welcome to the full deep dive into the Hyunjin and Felix moment that made the world stop spinning. Let's dive deeper. KGMA 2025 wasn't just another award show. That night felt like a massive stage where the entire Korean entertainment world came to show its brightest face. Lights, music, cheers, everything blended into a grand symphony that shook the heart of everyone present. Stray kids sat in the front row, as if the universe wanted the cameras to find them easily. And as always, Hyunjin and Felix sat side by side, two figures who looked like expensive paintings that had just stepped out of a modern art gallery. Hyunjin with his soft black hair falling like shadows of the night, Felix with his golden ponytail reflecting the lights like the first rays of dawn. That contrast, light and dark, sunrise and midnight, and between them, a small, quiet distance filled with comfort. As the camera panned across the room, no one knew the world was heading towards a single emotional weak spot, the moment their eyes met. KGMA was loud, chaotic, full of life. Yet somehow, when the camera focused on Hyunjin and Felix, the world fell into silence. Hyunjin said something, softly, almost like a whisper, only someone truly close could hear. Felix turned to him, and then that smile appeared. A smile not meant for the cameras, not for the fans, not for the public. A smile that only surfaces when someone is genuinely at ease. Felix looked at Hyunjin with eyes full of warmth and trust, and Hyunjin answered with a gaze that was calm, bright, and full of understanding. No dialogue, no special effects, just one look. And everything collapsed. On X/Twitter, fans wrote, "Why is Hyunjin looking at Felix softer than my ex ever looked at me?" This isn't casual eye contact. This is a full romance drama scene. I replayed it 300 times, and somehow it hurts more each time. And honestly, none of that is an exaggeration. Because there was something in that gaze that whispered, this isn't the first time they've looked at each other like this. The stage lights reflected silver off the performers' costumes, creating a futuristic glow. But Hyunjin and Felix looked like two classic characters trapped in a modern frame. That night, both wore white tank tops, the color of sincerity, softness, and quiet comfort. White fur jackets draped over their arms made them look like characters from a fairy tale, the noble hero and the protective guardian. Felix tilted his head slightly. A small gesture, but one that felt like a slow-motion K-drama scene. Hyunjin responded with a tiny movement of his lips, barely visible, yet enough for fans to scream, "Why is Hyunjin speaking so gently to Felix?" It wasn't a simple interaction. It was a perfectly lit, perfectly timed, accidental movie scene. A scene only fate could stage. There are loud glances, awkward glances, playful glances. But Hyunjin and Felix's glance that night was, I understand you without you saying anything. The gaze of two people with a deep emotional connection. It was a conversation in a language only they understood. Stays immediately caught the nuance. This isn't for the cameras, this is comfort. Felix's eyes, soft, focused, warm. Hyunjin's expression, gentle, attentive, a little shy but honest. No performance, no pretense. Just two humans caught in a genuine moment. And ironically, the most private-looking moment was the one captured by a massive camera and watched by millions. Even though the other members weren't clearly visible, fans imagined Bangshin, the leader with sharp instincts, probably saw it from the corner of his eye and smiled like, my kids. Lee No, ever observant, might have internally commented, what are these two doing? So dramatic. Han, the chaos main character, probably already planning a TikTok meme. Seungmin would pretend to focus on stage but definitely heard everything. And IN, the maknae, might have thought, why are they so soft today? Did any of that really happen? Who knows? But the fandom narrative makes it feel real. Fans who saw it live all said the same thing. The atmosphere instantly changed. When they looked at each other, it felt like the stadium went quiet. The lights behind them made their silhouette glow, like a scene from a movie. One fan even wrote, I'm not kidding. Hyunjin said something, Felix smiled, and I screamed. Another compared it to the climax scene of a Netflix romance series. Those who saw it live said it felt intimate, in a wholesome, honest way. Because Hyunjin and Felix have always had this dynamic. Not just as group mates, but as two individuals with a visual and emotional chemistry that stands out. Fans immediately recalled their synced dance practice moments, Felix laughing at Hyunjin's jokes in behind-the-scenes clips, their natural closeness during rehearsals, candid photos showing them comfortable around each other. So when KGMA 2025 gave the world this cinematic eye contact, it felt like another chapter in a long-running emotional storyline. Not just fans, media outlets jumped in too. Stray Kids' visual duo stuns at KGMA. Hyunjin and Felix moment captivates the internet. The 3-second clip breaking timelines. Even fashion magazines commented, their visuals aesthetics together resemble moving artwork. Validation everywhere. The moment was impossible to ignore. Then came the edits. Slow-mo clips with dramatic ballads, soft glow filters that made the moment look supernatural. Movie-style edits inspired by 2521, Nevertheless, or 20th Century Girl. Some fans wrote fictional plots. Hyunjin, the fragile artist, Felix, the muse who heals him. Or Felix, the new transfer student, Hyunjin, the cold senior who's secretly soft inside. They turned a real-life candid moment into a whole cinematic universe. Because the moment wasn't about physical closeness. It was emotional closeness. It looked honest, unscripted, pure. Hyunjin's gaze felt like, I understand you without you saying anything. Felix's smile felt like, I'm here. I hear you. In an entertainment world full of pressure, a small, genuine interaction like this shines brighter than any spotlight. It reminds us, real warmth still exists. And among millions of stays watching, many felt their hearts tremble. There's a reason the fandom fell so deeply into this moment. Because Hyunjin and Felix aren't just two people sitting next to each other. They are two characters who have walked a long journey together, filled with hardships, triumphs, and growth. And when the camera accidentally caught them in their most natural state, unfiltered, unrehearsed, it felt like we were witnessing a private scene from their lives. No dramatic speech, no soundtrack, no script. And yet, that makes it all the more dramatic. Because the best drama always comes from genuine reality. So Stays, tell me, what do you think lies behind that gaze between Hyunjin and Felix? Was this one of the greatest Hyunjin moments ever captured? Or do you have another moment that holds your heart tighter? Share your thoughts in the comments. I want to read every theory, every dramatic reaction, and every meltdown over these 3 devastating seconds. And don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you never miss another emotional dive into the world of K-pop. See you in the next video. And remember, in a world that moves too fast, sometimes it's small glances like this that make us stop and feel alive. 안녕, stay.